opinion, you know, just where does primary industries fit in the Queensland narrative?
Well, Peter, I'll share something with you that I actually went to Gatton College, where I learned that I didn't want to go on the land. But that was many, many decades ago. But it's all Queensland really, in its earlier years, was built on primary industry and primary industry alone these days.
The story about your involvement and your family's involvement with Girl Guides.
Well, Peter, we had 4 daughters, or we have 4 daughters, and all of them were members of the Girl Guides. He came at me when I was a member for Griffith in 1974, which frightened the daylights out of me, but if I'm allowed to share a little bit of political history, I remember the Thursday afternoon before that federal election, I found him with a vehicle with a map of Griffith on and little speaker set, and I drove into Agnew Street, stopped up in front of him, went up to him and said, "Clem, whoever has won it by now, let's agree to give it away." And he put his hand out, we both shook hands, and we stopped campaigning at that time. And we had the Commonwealth Games in '82, but they were sporting events. This was the first time our expo we'd ever gone anywhere near something other than the Brisbane Royal National Show every August every year, and it was absolutely unbelievable what they achieved on the south side of the Brisbane River.
Frank Moore?
So Frank Moore, he's still alive, Peter.
He is indeed.
Yes.
He's actually our patron.
Oh, I didn't realise that.
Yep.
Well, what an appropriate person.
It is.
If I can just observe that there are people out there called quiet achievers, and there's other more noisy achievers. But in politics, you can't be a Bob Milton because you've got to be recognised as doing something. So there's a totally different atmospherics that prevail, but there are a lot of people out there who really are hardly known, who we couldn't have lived without.
And what
Reacted by doing that Queensland emblem with changes to make it even more permanent.
I think Joe was very single-minded, incredibly so.
Absolutely. Either the Joe way or no way.
Exactly right.
And it was absolutely unbelievable what they achieved on the south side of the Brisbane River.
I find many people talking about World Expo 88 over there.
Well, to be very honest, no sir. It was the other side of the world, and indeed, if you were at the United Nations, your mind's occupied more on world events, which should have included Expo back in hometown Brisbane, but very little mention.
Thoughts about Sally?
Like so many leaders of all political persuasions, they have a lot, because they wouldn't get to the top if they didn't have anything to offer. But Sally Ann was remarkable that she was the first Brisbane female Lord Mayor.
And only one.
Yeah, and